It was raining heavily that morning when Emma clutched her little daughter Lily's hand and rushed toward the tall glass building. Her clothes were damp, her resume slightly crumpled, and her heart pounding with both hope and fear. She had spent the last of her bus fare to get there, praying this interview might finally give her a chance to rebuild her life. Emma was a single mother, barely making ends meet after losing her job months ago. Her husband had abandoned her when Lily was just 2, leaving behind nothing but debts and broken promises. Now, with the 4-year-old child and rent long overdue, this interview meant everything. But as she stepped into the sleek lobby, the receptionist's eyes fell on the small child beside her. The woman's polite smile stiffened. "I'm sorry, ma'am," she said, glancing toward the waiting candidates. "You can't bring children to an interview. It's company policy." Emma's heart sank. "Please," she said softly, her voice trembling. "I had no one to watch her today. I promise Lily will sit quietly. I really need this job." The receptionist hesitated, but before she could respond, one of the other applicants, a young man in an expensive suit, snorted. "Maybe she should focus on finding a babysitter before applying for jobs," he muttered loudly. Laughter rippled through the waiting area. Emma felt her face burn with humiliation. She bent down to whisper to her daughter, "It's okay, sweetheart. Mommy's here." But the rejection hit her harder than she expected. All the nights of worrying, all the prayers, all the sacrifices, it felt like they were crumbling before her eyes. She was about to leave when a deep, calm voice broke through the tension in the room. "What's going on here?" Everyone turned. The man who had just entered was tall, dressed in a tailored suit, his presence commanding the room effortlessly. He wasn't just another executive, he was Nathan Cole, the company's CEO. The receptionist straightened nervously. "Sir," she brought her child to the interview. Nathan's gaze softened as he looked at the little girl clutching her mother's hand. Lily gave him a shy wave. "Hi," she said, her tiny voice cutting through the silence. Nathan's lips twitched into a faint smile. "Hi there. And what's your name?" "Lily," she replied proudly. He looked at Emma next. "And yours?" "Emma Harper," she said quietly. "I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to cause a disturbance. I just couldn't find anyone to look after my daughter today. I can leave if it's a problem." Nathan studied her for a moment, then turned to the receptionist. "Cancel my next meeting," he said. "I'll conduct this interview myself." A stunned silence filled the room. The man in the expensive suit looked away, embarrassed. Nathan gestured for Emma to follow him into his office. "Bring your daughter," he added. "She seems well behaved." Inside, Emma sat nervously across from him while Lily quietly colored in a notebook from her bag. Nathan noticed how Emma kept glancing toward her daughter every few seconds, protective, loving, but tired. He began asking her questions about her previous job, her experience in marketing, her goals. Despite her nerves, Emma answered confidently, her passion shining through every word. She spoke about the small business she once helped grow, about how she managed clients while caring for a newborn, and how she believed creativity could make a difference in people's lives. Halfway through, Lily tugged at her mother's sleeve. "Mommy, can I show him my drawing?" Emma blushed. "Lily, honey, let Mommy finish." Nathan chuckled. "Let's see it." Lily proudly handed him the paper. It was a crayon drawing of a woman holding a little girl's hand, standing in front of a tall building with the sun shining above it. "That's Mommy," Lily explained. "She's going to work here one day." Nathan's eyes lingered on the drawing. Something about it stirred a memory deep inside him of his own mother, who had raised him alone after his father died. He knew too well what struggle and sacrifice looked like. He looked up and said quietly, "She already does." Emma blinked, confused. "Yeah, I'm sorry." He smiled warmly. "You're hired, Miss Harper. Anyone with that kind of dedication deserves a chance. And for what it's worth, I think your daughter's proud of you already." Emma's eyes filled with tears. "Thank you, a broken bar. You don't know what this means to us." Nathan nodded. "I think I do." Over the next few months, Emma became one of the company's most hard-working employees. Her ideas brought new clients, and her kindness inspired others in the office. People who once looked down on her now admired her strength. And now he often found himself watching her from afar, reminded of how compassion and talent can change a company's culture. One evening, as Emma was packing up her things, Nathan stopped by her desk. "You know," he said, smiling, "Lily's drawing still hangs in my office. Every time I look at it, I remember why we do what we do. It's not just about business. It's about people, about second chances." Emma smiled back, tears glistening in her eyes. "Thank you for believing in me when no one else did." Nathan nodded. "The truth is, I didn't just hire an employee that day. I hired someone who reminded me what real strength looks like." Years later, when Emma became the company's head of marketing, she often told new recruits the story of that rainy morning of the day she was nearly turned away for being a mother, but was given a chance instead. Her message was simple: never be ashamed of what you carry. Sometimes, the thing people think makes you weak is exactly what makes you strong. And every morning, before heading to work, she'd kiss Lily goodbye and whisper, "We did it, baby girl."